What's up, guys? The Nissan Silvia, or in our case, 240SX, was one of the most popular entry-level rear-wheel drive sports cars of the 90s. People still wonder if Nissan will ever bring back another Silvia, and the answer is Nissan ended production of the Skyline GTR 300ZX and Silvia in the early 2000s. We've seen the Z and GTR return, but no Silvia successor. There were rumors of an S16 Silvia, but one of the big problems was that Nissan didn't really have a performance 4-cylinder to use. The SR20 DET was going on 10 years and outdated by this time, so the baton was being passed to the QR25DE found in the Sentra SER, which really wasn't a successor. There were also discussions of pulling an engine from sister company Renault, but obviously that never happened. The other issue is that the iconic Z car was going to be resurrected and the priority went in that direction, and then later on their global supercar, the GTR. One of the many issues of Nissan's 90s bankruptcy horrors involved too many models in their lineup that were very similar, which created internal competition. For example, why have a Silvia and 180SX? They're literally the same car, just a different body style. Also, why buy a Fairlady Z when the Silvia was smaller, funner, and just as powerful when modified? So, going off of this experience, Nissan decided against the Silvia. Another reason was that the Z was more recognized in the US, which was their target market. This is no longer the Z of the past. It used to be a somewhat light and fun rear-wheel drive sports car. The original chassis code on the Datsun 240Z started with an S and later got changed to a Z. Now if you think about it, the S chassis code was used by the Silvia also, so in a sense, this was the unofficial replacement for the Z as it evolved to be more of a refined GT type car. Yes, there is no 6-cylinder as found in the Zs, but the 4-cylinder was decent, especially in other markets with the turbocharged SR20 DET. So we never got to see an S16 Nissan Silvia. This was upsetting to Silvia fans, but it does live on as the Toyota 86. Being a 240SX owner, this car is eerily familiar. It's like it's the modern day Silvia, except that it's not built by Nissan. Once you compare the Toyota 86 to the Nissan Silvia, you start seeing the similarities. It's an entry-level sports car. It has similar ride height. It has independent rear suspension with McPherson struts up front, a small back seat with the rear seats folding forward, and I know it's a different car, but you can even swap the larger brakes and rotors from the STI over, just like the 240SX to 300ZX brake swaps. They both also received the same praises: great handling, relatively light, fun, sporty, and rear-wheel drive, and also the same complaints: underpowered, needs larger brakes, needs better tires, and small back seats. This is going to hurt a lot of feelings, but if you believe the Toyota 86 or its various versions were derived from this, then you were deceived, not by me, but by Toyota marketing. If the 86 was an evolution from the AE86, then how does Subaru market the BRZ, which we all know is its twin? They're both built in the same factory. Does Subaru say that the BRZ's heritage is based off of the AE86? I highly doubt that, but it goes back to the deception of marketing. Looking at the timeline, the 300ZX ended production in 2000, and the Skyline GTR and Silvia in 2002. The Z eventually returned in 2002 as the 350Z, and then the GTR in 2009. The Scion FRS came out in 2012, and Nissan soon realized they'd done screwed up, which allowed Toyobaru, to take the opportunity and build their own version of the Silvia. Nissan couldn't really build a Silvia now because it would be very similar to the FRS, so they followed up with the IDX concept, which was a throwback to the Datsun 510, but that also later got scrapped. the FRS was a great move because Toyota was able to collaborate with Subaru to gain an entry-level performance car. That collab also got Subaru a new Boxer engine, which has now been turbocharged and powers the WRX and various other models, and most likely will be used for decades to come. If Nissan were to have built the next generation Silvia, we may not have seen the Toyota 86, and that's probably also why we don't have a Silvia. It's better that we didn't, because Nissan would have probably ruined it because of their existing performance 4-cylinders, which are non-existent. So, to wrap things up, the Nissan Silvia has more in common to the Toyota 86 than the AE86, and if you're expecting to own a modern day Silvia, then look no further than these two, because Nissan screwed up. I know there's going to be a lot of upset AE86 or Toyota fans, but like I mentioned earlier, does Subaru say the BRZ's heritage stems from the AE86? Obviously, they're not going to mention the Nissan Silvia since it's a competitor car, but given the similarities and situation, it seems very likely. And if you still disagree, the 86 leans more towards the Subaru side of things, since it's manufactured by Subaru and the STI brakes can be swapped over. I don't think anything can swap over from the Corolla or AE86, but maybe that's where they got the tires from. I hope you enjoyed this video. I plan to make more conspiracy or what if videos, so let me know what you'd like to see and your thoughts in the comment section below, and also hit that like button and subscribe for future content. I'll see you in the next one.